whiteness, white supremacy, white extremist, all occult. Now, I'm here to teach, and I want to get you ready for this. I'm going to be here for a minute. And let me tell you why. I keep getting these comments about black on black crime and how we're killing our babies and just a whole plethora, or how black people are racist. And I realize that when you're brainwashed, that's the kind of stuff people say. So I want to talk to you about it, sis and bro. I want to talk to you about fam, okay? And I need you to understand a couple of things before I go all the way in. I'm here to teach. That's the first thing. Let's get that over with, okay? And I need you to know that we as a people are extraordinarily powerful. And we lose our power when we interact with their ignorance. Okay? So I want to give you some knowledge so you can start to be able to speak back to the enemy, but doing it in love and the spirit of love and dignity. There's no need to get ugly when you're dealing with ignorance. If you're dealing with somebody who is brainwashed to believe they have the right to come onto black platforms under the auspices of, was a public platform. Yeah, but you weren't invited. What's the point? That's part of their indoctrination. They believe they know more than us. They believe they know us better than ourselves. It's fascinating to watch. Like, did you know that black on black? They're the only person who read a book. All right. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And so I want to hook you up real quick. All right. First things first. Black and white are not skin colors. They're not. It's a childish logic to think that when we say black or white, we're not talking about skin. We're talking about social positioning. We are talking about how we are positioned historically and in society, such that we are the bottom of an invisible caste system that's 8 generations deep. So when they come on to black platforms, okay, there's a level of rightness. They believe they're right. That's part of the cult. That's part of the belief system. You can be, check this out, this is important to know. No, please share, oh God, for the love of God and all things holy, please share this one. If we don't get the language right, then we're going to have fights with people who are remarkably ignorant, and so ignorant that they will die for it. Okay? And okay, if I need all my Israelites and my black Moors to back up off me about the term black, I am not using black the way you're using it. I am talking about an identity. I'm talking about a social position. I'm talking about historical positioning. I am not talking about skin. If you cannot hear what I'm out to teach, then leave me. But I'm not fighting you over a term that is a historical term. I'm not using the term black like skin. I'm using it as a social position. The new black is trans. The Irish, blackening the Irish, is a historical moment. So please do not come for me today. I'm trying, God. And if you do, be prepared for all of my heat. I don't have the patience for it. I now got to deal with white people. I'm not going to deal with white people and black people on the same post. I'll handle y'all later, okay? In terms of people who want to fight me on terms, be very clear. Well, you may be on my side, then please don't fight me on this. Right now, I got to get this in. If I don't get this in, we're going to keep a cycle of silliness going on because we're fighting people who are literally brainwashed. Whoever they're listening to, whoever they're reading is giving them the same data. Have you noticed they keep coming back with the same statistics? Oh, look at all the black on black crime in Chicago. Chicago ain't even in the top 10 states for gun violence. But whoever they're getting their information from, whoever Kool-Aid they drinking, they feel emboldened to come on my platforms and start talking smack. I'm not okay with it. So this is what I'm saying. I need us as a people to realize that black is not skin. I know you know it, but I want to make sure. It's identity. It is a social position, meaning that because we have been dehumanized historically and even in today's society, we don't get the same privileges and rights. And because we came in on a handicap, we're behind in certain ways. That doesn't mean we don't have jobs, but we don't have land. We don't have equity. We don't have access. You know what I'm saying? So when they start saying that, you need to understand that they're ignorant. They're so in the freaking dark that if you engage with them, you actually give them your power. What they're seeking is acknowledgement of their book learning. And when you engage with their ugly, you give them their power. It's the slave master dialectic. Go look up Hegel, the spirit of the phenomenology of spirit. And the thing is, they can only know themselves as right by virtue of you arguing with them. Do not argue with ignorance. Ignore ignorance. Please, at least on my platform, ignore ignorance. Okay? Because when people get ugly, I just block them, delete them, or report them to the police. Because if they say something foul, and you need to watch this when you post, ladies and gentlemen, bro and sis, if you post something foul, my page is watched. So it gets tagged, and then they'll block you and they'll shut you down. Because my stuff, I get shadow banned on a regular bloody basis. Okay? So please be mindful. Don't get petty with petty people. They're petty spirits. They are remarkably inferior. And I mean that, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm literally saying they don't even have the cognition to think through an idea without calling people out of their name. Their default is, oh, you're a racist. They don't even understand that we can't be racist because we don't have the power to enact it. Why would you argue with a child? Why would you argue with somebody who's mentally deficient? That's an unfair fight, if you want to know my opinion. So I'm saying, please, do not do that. Don't do it on my platform and don't do it in your life. People are trigger happy and they're looking for a reason to flex. And because they're so indoctrinated in the cult of white rightness, that they're taking extreme moves because they're threatened. The because doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to have you hear is this. Just please share this video. What I'm trying to have you hear is this. You're smarter than he is. You're smarter than she is. When they come into the space, because they come and they're watching now, they can't help it. That is how lonely and desperate they are. That is how low they feel about themselves, that they troll black sites to get some kind of rise out of us because they need us to know that they're alive. That is how desperate they are. That is how just damaged, not wounded, damaged they are. And I'm not talking about all white people at all. I have some great allies. Y'all know this. Some of my black people get mad at me for actually having allies. But if we didn't have allies, we wouldn't have had abolitionists. And you need them. So don't poo-poo on it. Be very, very clear. It's not that at all. But for the people who are white privilege, white extremists, white supremacists, they're the ones who come into black spaces so they have some point and meaning in their life. That is how desperate they are. So, given that that's their desperation, don't feed it. Don't feed it. Don't feed a vampire. Don't feed a scavenger. Don't do it. They don't deserve you. You're too smart for them. You are above them. They are beneath you. They literally are the lowest of the low. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, literally, that is just how desperate they are, that they have to come and disparage and be ugly with other people that ain't even talking to them. Do you understand how desperate they would have to be to do that? That's what I'm trying to say to you. So please don't engage. Don't engage. Don't engage. If you engage with them, you are giving them your power. You are feeding them your blood, your energy. They're stealing from you like they stole the blues. They're stealing from you like they stole rock and roll. They're stealing from you like they try to steal jazz. Don't let them take from you. Do not play their game. You give white people too much power. White hate has no power if you don't dance. So please, don't dance with ignorance. Don't dance with people who are brainwashed against you. To be fair, They've been listening to somebody and trusting some leaders that they have, and they took their word for real, even though the data has been skewed, even though their data is set up to paint us villain. That's between them and God. But if you engage with it, it makes them want to come back, and they bring all their friends. And then I have to contend with a bunch of hate speech, and I will, because I'm going to keep a safe space. You see what I'm saying? But it only gets worse when you pop off at them, and they're not worthy of you. I mean, it's so not that. So be very, 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 very clear that people can use you by purposely pushing buttons. If they call you a racist, then that's them trying to get a rise out of you. Why are you gonna let them manipulate you like that? Like I'm trying not to curse God. It will not last. I'm probably good for another 3 to 5 minutes, Jesus, and after that, I'm gonna say what I mean. So what I'm trying to say in the most genteel, bloody way I can is this. God, I'm trying so hard. Jesus, you need to do something before I say what's on my mind. My point is this. You are God wrapped in flesh. You are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the head and not the tail. You are the righteousness of God. And you need to walk in that authority. You ain't got to say it. You need to walk in that authority. And the way you walk in that authority is you do not let people pimp you. You do not let people push your buttons to get a rise out of you. That's what marketing does. That's the reason why we have those types of upsets, because they say something and we think it's almost like a script that we have to say something back. No, maturity, emotional maturity is you learn how to hold your bloody tongue. You learn how to hold your peace. You don't let them take it from you because they said something stupid. That's their ignorance. And I refuse to relate to you like you're as low as they are. You're not. Not on my watch. So we're not doing it. We're not doing it. And if you feel like you need to fight them, then fight with dignity. Our ancestors fought with dignity. They spoke with dignity. They did not reduce themselves to name calling. They didn't do any of that. They don't do that. That's not us. That's how they fight. Don't fight like they fight. If you want to fight somebody, fight like the ancestors fought. Seriously, I don't mean like marching, but with dignity and with pride and with purpose. You don't let them provoke you. But think about all the water holes and the dogs. They did not fight. Like, I'm not saying my pastor, I'm saying they stood their ground. And they held their peace. And they strategized. And they leveraged their money. And they withheld their buying power. That is how you win. You don't win by going tit for tat with somebody who's brainwashed and who's so desperate for attention that they come on somebody else's page to get a rise and the fake IDs. As far as I'm concerned, they are mentally ill. They have my pity. That is an illness. Racism is an illness. And I'm not going to dance with it like they're actually well, because they're not well. They're not well. So don't act like you're talking to equal, because you're not. They're not your equal. Please stop acting like they have some power. Most of these people most of these men specifically, and the women maybe, but are living alone in the basement somewhere with a computer screen. That's all they got. They ain't got what you got. If they have enough time to go look up all the stuff they're trying to look up to discredit us, what kind of job do they have? What kind of life do they have? What kind of joy do they have? I want you to think through. I need you to think. I need you to not react. The more you react, the more the cycle continues. And I need you well. And I need you whole. So we're not doing this. Not on my watch. You can leave me and go be petty and fight on other people's platforms. But it took me over 10 years to build this one. And it is a safe space to engage in dignified conversations, not debates. We don't debate here. You can go debate on other people's platforms. Or on my platform, people get heard. They can say their piece. They can ask their questions. You don't have to answer them. We don't cross talk. We don't criticize people's word. That's not even necessary. People have a right to their truth. I don't agree with a lot of things everybody say, but you have a right to say it as long as it's done in the spirit of love and dignity. And if you can't do that, you are not welcomed here. You will not create an unsafe space on my watch. All right, Jesus, I didn't curse, Lord. I'm falling back. And I love you. So know that I love you. I'm a little hot about it. Okay, a lot hot about it, but I need us to realize that we are everything they want to be. That's why they watch so close. They want what you have. They want who you are. And when you get in the dirt with them, you feed them power. I'm not okay with that. I'm not. So help me not curse people out. Help me not curse them out. Because I'm like this close to all the street of me coming out. And I'm not opposed to street. Rest assured there's a place for it. But me and God are working on me not cursing people out and managing my temper. For now. I can't guarantee anything. So my point is this. I love you. Please know I love you. My passion is a function of love, not anger. I will fight you for you. All right? But we're not fighting ignorant, cult, brainwashed white people and black people who identify as white even if they're black. You can have black white supremacists. So don't think of skin. It's not skin. And you can have some Asian white supremacists. You can have some Native American white supremacists. Don't worry about that. If someone's being ugly, that's not who you are. You are God wrapped in flesh. You are God's hands and God's feet. So you're not doing none of that. We're not fighting like that. Our fights are spiritual warfare, baby. We don't, Jesus. We're not doing that. But if you keep dancing with them, they keep coming back because they know they'll get a rise. Okay? I've said my piece. If you're fed by this word, please pay it forward. Know that I love you with my whole heart. And thank you for your, I got my hair done. Thank you for loving my hair. And thank you for the hearts. And thank you for the stars. Thank you for supporting me. And please help me keep this space safe. If somebody says something ugly, report them, block them. I can spend hours going through the comments. I get thousands and thousands of comments a day. And I go through to keep it safe. I go and block and delete because it matters to me that you can say what you need to say in the spirit of love and dignity without being attacked. I do that because I choose to. That's because I love you. Help me by virtue of, if you see something ugly, report it. Calling people out of their name, saying awful things, those are hate acts. Those are illegal. So you can leverage, instead of tit for tatting, call the police. Take a screenshot. Send it over. Because they built up a record of that. Do you see what I'm saying? So please understand that, okay? Okay, God, I'm done. I'm done, Lord. I love you. Please share this video. I pray you know that I love you, that I'm not mad at you. I'm committed to you. Okay? Share the video. Goodbye for now. And don't dance with ignorance. Goodbye.